Welcome to Birdseeds. Today's episode, we're going to get into a topic that it's somewhat counterintuitive, I'd say, but it's really kind of the basis of doing this podcast. It's kind of the whole background and the whole reason I'm doing it. So I think it's really important. I got some travel coming up and sort of an analogy that I've come up with. So I'm going to be on a plane. I haven't flown a whole lot since COVID started, just a couple times. But I got some plane travel coming up. And as you know, when you get on a plane, they go through all the different things in the front of the airplane on, what's going to be going on and the safety things and where you're sitting. And they come over if you're over the wings, making sure you're okay to do with the tasks that you need to do, etc. And before I get into the real point here, something I heard, I think it was probably at a Tom Ferry event. Who knows? A lot of my anecdotes are Tom Ferry. But something I had heard that I think, really stuck with me is, if you're sitting there and the beginning of the flight and they get up in the front and they start telling you everything, how many of us actually listen to what they say? We've heard it a million times. We're probably not going to pay that much attention to it, right? We kind of figure out what's the likelihood. I've flown how many times? I've never had to deal with this, and I've heard it a million times. But if that person standing at the front of the plane said, "We're going down right now, pay attention," what kind of focus are you going to give them, right? You're going to give them every bit of your attention so you know what to do to try to save your life and other people's lives, right? So I just thought that, as a side sort of anecdote there, I think that it's something that's pretty important and pretty powerful to go, man, our attention really needs to be focused on the things that are right in front of us. So I think that's kind of cool. But one of the things that they talk about, and this is we're getting to the main point here, one of the things they talk about when they're giving you the spiel and all the safety things is in the event that you lose pressure or lose oxygen, these masks are going to drop down from the ceiling above you. And they always say, make sure you put your mask on first so that you can help the other people. Don't help the other people first. Make sure you help you first. And that's just so counterintuitive to my personality. And my personality is I always do things for other people. I'm always putting their needs in front of my needs. And so in that moment, I would, my kids are there, I would be so inclined just to say, nope, I'm going to put yours on, protect you first. But the key is if they need help getting it on, they're going to need more help than just getting it on. So you need to make sure that you are able to help them with everything else they need to do. And the parallel there to this podcast is that's kind of what this is about. This podcast is me sharing my epiphanies, aha, seeds of thought, lines of conclusion, whatever you want to, call them. But really it's there to help me, and therefore I can help other people. So when it forces me to slow down in my day, when I take, whatever, an hour at a time to get these things done and edited and up, to, slow down and take time out of my crazy day where I'm being pulled in so many different directions all the time, to put my phone on do not disturb so that I can take the video and it's not going to chime in because I get so many phone calls and texts and all the above. If I can take the time to slow down and think about these things, these thoughts that I have that are sort of fleeting as the day goes through, but not only just take the time to sit down and think about them, but take the time to sit down and think about them, digest it, and be able to internalize it enough to teach it to somebody else, to explain it to somebody else. That helps me so much. Plus, these are all generally positive things, right? They're insightful and all that, but they're positive. And it forces me once a week to be positive. I generally am not going to pre-record a bunch of these. Right now I'm pre-recording a couple because I got some travel planned and I want to keep these coming out weekly. But generally speaking, these are recorded in the moment, edited right as soon as I'm done, posted up and released that minute. They are my streams of consciousness. It is current. It is where I'm at in that moment. And so being able to force myself, and again, they're generally going to be positive, right? But being able to slow down, think about my thoughts, digest them enough to explain them to you, and stay positive and stay optimistic and hopeful and excited. Man, does it pay such dividends into my mood, my attitude, my motivation? All the above. It's really helpful for me, and the hope is it's really helpful for you. I hope that you get something out of these episodes and just think about something in a different way. I was at a mastermind session this morning. Another great agent in our marketplace puts together a broker agnostic mastermind once a month, and we just get together and there are topics we're going to talk about. and we're just brainstorming. We're just coming up with ideas. And he asked this morning, why are all you top producers who are busy as all get out, why are you guys showing up here once a month to do this? And I immediately raised my hand and said, it forces me to slow down and think about my business, not be in it, but think about it from a bigger perspective, and think about, we sometimes get in the habit of doing things, but we don't really ever slow down to analyze, do those things make sense? Do they work? Are they productive? Is there a better way that could be done? Is there something else that could be done instead? Or maybe it does work and you got to lean into it even harder. But we don't necessarily slow down in our lives to analyze that stuff, to think about it from the bigger perspective. It's just the habit that we have, and we just keep doing it because that's what we do. And it's really nice to sometimes slow down and go, that didn't work. Or wait a minute, if I did it this way, it'd be much more productive. Or, again, maybe it worked awesome and I really want to lay into it. I really want to double down or triple down on that. So, all long way to say, take the time for yourself, work on yourself, and by working on yourself, you'll work on others. It's not the other way around, as much as we want it to be, and something I'm really working on. I'm going to open up here and say I'm an only child, and I have only child syndrome, and I fight it, something I'm conscious of, something I've been cognizant of my entire life, something I've fought very hard to not fall victim to, or I don't say victim, that sounds way worse than it is, but be subject to, or to have people think that of me. And because of that, I generally will put other people's needs before mine. I can go here in business and say that, for a long time, I would work crazy, stupid hours, 80 plus hours a week. I would put my clients' needs to get out and see that house above sleep, food, family, because I felt obligated to not let them down. I felt obligated to make sure that I didn't stand in the way of what their goals were, which is to get that house. And super important, don't get me wrong, as agents, we 100% need to do what needs to happen for our clients to get to their goals. That's what they've hired us to do. But it doesn't have to come at the sacrifice of sleep or food, nourishment, family, kids, all the above. So it's something over the last couple of years I've really worked hard on, and I'll tell you, I'm a better agent, I'm a better representation for my clients by doing that. I am more rested, I'm more focused, more present, I'm happier, and ultimately, I do better. It forces me to get more done when I'm doing it. So, it's kind of a sick joke in this industry that, people post all the time on social media. Did your agent do this? Did your agent stay up until 2 a.m. in the office? I've done this. Me personally, I've done that, right? But it's a sick joke. Like, the agents post that. Did your agent do this? They should. No, we shouldn't. Absolutely not. We got to put ourselves first sometimes. And I think that's really the whole spiel here is focus on yourself. By focusing on yourself, you'll be able to focus on others, and the world will be a better place. Thanks for listening. Birdseeds, Joe Bird. Hope you're doing wonderful. Take care.